Well, hello everyone. This is Catherine. Today I wanted to talk to you about a very important topic. Actually, it's the common denominator and one of the most important steps to do when you want to heal from an illness that is within your body. I've just started to read again this book, which is called Love, Medicine, and Miracles by Dr. Bernie Siegel. He was a surgeon who used to operate a lot on cancer patients and removing tumors and stuff. I read this book 10 years ago and I just took it back out because it was so relevant to when I'm coaching people, and I'm seeing more and more that one of the common denominator that keeps them ill is the presence of internal conflicts. And Dr. Siegel says one of the first effort to do towards healing is to resolve these internal conflicts, because by doing that, it's going to liberate the energy that was mobilized by the contradiction, and that energy will be available for healing, right? So, and everybody that I know, every human that I know has been living at some point with those internal conflicts. And I know that for me, when I resolved a big internal conflict that I had with my job as a nurse practitioner, it accelerated my healing from Lyme disease, like really quickly. Right? So that's why I wanted to share this with you today. So one of the most important things to start your healing is to accept the illness in order to systematically refuse to be passively submissive to the illness, right? So you have to accept the illness first, and then you just put every ounce of energy towards not submitting to the illness. And that includes that passage asks for the release of emotions, whether it's anger, sadness, betrayal, guilt, shame, whatever it is. Get these emotions out. I often say to my clients and patients, you have to take the trash out because otherwise it stinks in the house, right? So that's the first step towards any healing from any illness, really, whether it's Lyme disease, cancer, even just a common cold, right? Isn't that frustrating? First step. And then Dr. Siegel presents 4 questions that are really important in order to assess your desire to live. Isn't that a little bit paradoxical? You're going to say, oh, Catherine, of course I want to live. Well, let's see how you feel with those questions from Dr. Siegel. First questions is, would you want to live to 100 years old? Most people will say, oh yeah, I want to live to 100 years old if I have the health to have a good quality of life, right? To that question, or to that answer, I question you, well, do you love yourself sufficiently in order to give your body and spirit, body and mind, what it needs to thrive, what it needs to be healthy, so that you can live to 100 years old and have this beautiful quality of life? That includes what you eat, what the exercise, that when you move your body, what you choose to put in your mind, whether it's positive or negative thoughts. So do you love yourself sufficiently to do what it takes to live to 100 years old? So that's the first question. Would you want to live to 100 years old? The second question is, what happened in your life in the year prior to the illness coming into your body? And this is really important, because we're beings, we react to emotions, to situations, to people. So have you ever heard someone say, or maybe you've heard yourself say, if this situation keeps on going, this is going to kill me, or this is going to make me sick? This is literally what happens. So for me, in the year prior to being really sick with Lyme disease, I had just an increasing, huge amount of stress and things that were in conflict with my principles and values. And then that weakened my body, my immune system, so that the illness was able to take place and make itself at home, right? Everything came out. So that's the second question. What happened for you in the year that preceded the illness? The third question is, what does the illness mean for you? Right? Because what it means for you might be totally different than what it means for someone else, even with the same illness. So find out that meaning for you, right? that deep meaning that comes from your intuition. And sometimes it requires to go within and just ask yourself, what does this illness mean to me? And you might not be able to hear the answer unless you've started with the first step, which is to accept the illness and refuse systematically to submit to it passively. So that was the third question. The fourth question is the one that is susceptible to bring controversy in you or make you react. I know it did for me. But here's the question, and I invite you to tackle this question with compassion and objectivity, almost having this out-of-body experience where you're being able to look at the answer with total objectivity. So here's the question. Question is, why did you have to become sick in the first place? Yeah, I know, right? It's pretty harsh. Oftentimes, illnesses will give people the permission to do things that they wouldn't do otherwise, right? It would give them permission, I know that's what it did for me, to do the things that they love. Or it would give them permission to say no to certain obligations or responsibilities, or even to certain people's expectations, right? So the illness is giving you that courage to say no to these things. Whereas before you weren't able to say no or to fully, say no. Or it could also become a mode of relation with other people, right? So I know that for me, why I needed to become sick was that I needed to see where in my life I was in contradiction with my principles and beliefs. I mean, I loved my nurse practitioner job. I loved my colleagues. I loved my patients. But the medical paradigm, I was not in alignment with the medical paradigm. This was not my vision of health. And I needed that time off from the illness to gain that perspective and say, hey, you know what? There's other possibilities. And when I made that decision to leave my job and become a health coach fully, my healing accelerated like you wouldn't believe. Like in 4 months with Lyme disease, I regained 80% of my normal, right? This is how powerful this stuff is. So look at this question objectively and with compassion for the person that you were when you became sick, right? Because the strategy that was showing up was the best solution that you had at that time to answer your needs, right? To fulfill your needs. That being said, this strategy doesn't have to be the same, doesn't have to stay this way. So by looking at this question with compassion and objectivity, this is going to allow you to really get all the information revealed to you where you have internal conflicts, right? And that's going to make you able to resolve those conflicts and liberate this energy that was mobilized for the contradiction, so that this energy is available for your healing, right? And do you want to heal? Do you want to heal from that illness? I know I wanted to heal, so I was ready to do anything, right? So addressing the contradictions, the inner conflicts that I had, which were a major leak, energy leak, was key in my fast recovery. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you for being here. I invite you, if you have the courage, if you're feeling brave, to write some comments, answer those 4 questions below the video. I would be really honored. And honor your the power of your honesty and vulnerability for you to share. And maybe you'll gain some insights about your inner conflicts, and that might help you accelerate your healing. So I'm really looking forward to connect. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Catherine. I'm your health coach, allowing you to generate sustained focused energy, mental clarity, and inner peace through the resolution of inner conflicts, so that you can optimize all aspects of your life and live fully with your favorite passions, projects, and people. So take care. Talk to you soon.